we have done the big features, right? We have already done the delete feature altogether as well, right? Now let's get to item number 5. Item number 5 is after the item is added, clear the text field, right? So this text field should be cleared after I add an item. So let's take a look. Oh, click and it appeared. Perfect. So after the item is added, which looks like it gets added over here, right? So ul.appendChild adds the item, all right? After this happens, then what we want to do is, where is the item to add? This particular field. We need to clear that field, right? So we're going to simply say item to add, because that is the name of the field, right? You see over here, that's the field. Dot value, we already know the value is actually inside that the value property. So we can simply say equals nothing, like such. And that would clear that field after the previous item was added. Okay, so now if I save, I refresh, and if I add an item, I click add, this is cleared. Perfect. That was easy. Item number 12 is done. Now, item number 6 is to auto-focus after the adding happens. So what do we need to focus? This field again. So we can do item to add on the next line, dot focus. So focus is actually a property, a method, sorry, on the node. So you see that when we are querying these nodes, they actually have multiple properties. They have the next sibling, last child, append child, clone node, text content. It has so many different properties. If you want to look at all of them, you can just go to the Mozilla documentation and take a look at that, right? So if I just take that minute and I say node Mozilla, let's see if we find it, node web API. So let's see, I think this is going to work. Entity reference, event target. Yep, here are all the properties. Perfect, right? So it has something called child nodes, base URL object, last child, next sibling. It should, if I do focus, it should have that. And it didn't find because not all the nodes have it. Only if the node is a text input field, then only it has it. So it doesn't show over here. But if I just Google Mozilla and do focus, let's see if I find it. Oh, here it is. So the element, the node has to be an element type for it to have this focus property on it. So HTML element.focus, but if I see properties over here, you see it has multiple properties, the blur, click, focus, and so forth. Okay, back to our example over here. We don't want to get distracted, but this is pretty important. You need to know the original sources where all this information is documented. You cannot rely on Aziz or I Love Coding or any different resource. You must go to the original sources where this information is documented, all right? So this is not an original source, but this is a very well documented source, okay? So the original source would be the actual committee that actually creates these technologies. So, well, I just told you about focus. So what focus method does is it will actually focus this particular node. So now if I save and refresh, and now I add an item, add, you see it is automatically focused. So that's pretty much it for this video. We have one more item to go, item number 7, and I'm going to talk to you on that in the next lesson. Talk to you then.